Hi everyone, welcome back to Conversations with Ching-Yun. I'm so happy to see you here at my channel. Today I want to share with you a little bit about my experience with injury. I think this is a very important topic for many pianists, and this cannot be paid attention enough since you are young as a pianist or as any musicians. So when I was 17 years old, I entered college at Juilliard. And I remember before orientation, I was practicing on the 4th floor, the Chopin Concerto No. 1. And my fourth finger was already feeling numb for days and days. But as a young person, I thought, well, my mind can overcome my physical feelings. So this was a very wrong decision. I kept practicing and kept practicing. So one morning when I woke up, I couldn't feel my fourth finger anymore. It was completely numb and weak. And that moment, I realized something was extremely wrong and I panicked. And from that moment of panic to the moment that I went back to playing the piano again took me 6 months. So while my classmates at Juilliard were practicing Rachmaninoff third and all these big pieces, I was in the practice room trying to relearn how to play a scale. And I remember the most I could play was at first about 5 minutes, 3 times a day, and which was added to 15 minutes, 3 times a day. And little by little, I came back to playing. This was such an important lesson to me, and thank God it happened when I was only 17 years old. If it happens to someone in the midst of a very busy career, then it could really hurt the career so much because you have to take the time off. But as a 17-year-old, I took the 6 months and spent my days at Juilliard's library. So at the library, I could watch many pianists performing for videos. So I was watching how they use their body. And this was a very important time because I needed to find out how to give sound and how to play forte sound. And this process took years and years, like until you can feel comfortable with your body and know how to produce the sound that you want and completely with relaxations. So now I listen to many young pianists. The first thing I will always tell them is please relax. Try to relax. Learn to relax with each note. It's not to say that you don't have strength in your fingers. It's never that. You have strength in your fingers, but you have to be so aware of what your body is doing. Oftentimes you see pianists, they're playing, but they're listening and their mind is with the music, but they're not completely aware and in tune with their physical body. So there are many different techniques you can find. Some people talk about Tellman technique, Russian technique, Chinese technique, but the most important thing is it has to work for you. So the time that I spend to bring my physical body back to its comfort and learn how to play big repertoire with very long time and with concert one after another without breaking, literally, physically breaking. This is a very important lesson to learn. So with all this technique, I think the most important is to feel physically which works best for you. And from finger, we have 3 joints, right? And then you have here knuckles, wrist, forearm, whole arm, shoulder, and back. Back to stomach, leg, and your foot, your entire body. There is so much ways that you can produce a sound that you need. First, of course, you need to know what kind of sound you want, and then how to produce it. So this is extremely important, and it's a topic that we can go on and on forever and discuss about sound producing. But today's topic is about injury. So in order to prevent injury, first, you need to always warm up. I see some students, they come in from the cold, it's snowing outside, they sit down, they play an etude. Maybe when you're young, it's okay. But when your hands are so cold, you play something so physical, it's like an athlete. You would never run 100 meters without warming up properly. So this is, for the pianist, it's the same way. And secondly, I guess a teacher that can tell you how to use your body, or like when I was young, watch many videos and consciously realize what the pianists are doing. And thirdly, when you practice, take plenty of breaks. Again, just like my previous episode, I talked about practicing without our mind being there. It's the same way with injury prevention. Never practice without your mind completely there, because you are moving and your body gets more and more tired, but it doesn't help so much with your concentration or with the result of your practice. And fourthly, learn how to use each part of your body to produce sound. So about injury prevention, it's something that we all need to be aware of. And my personal story, since I was 17, I should say that it was a very painful time for me, but I also learned so much from it. And I hope by saying about injury prevention that you will never have to go through that experience. So that's my topic for today's conversations with Ching-Yun. Remember to subscribe, comment, and share. I hope more people can watch this video and we can share all this knowledge about piano with each other. And I will see you next Thursday.